Hello and welcome to today's RGL Semifinals match. We have the 45E versus the 63E. I'm joined by my good pals, Bushline Byron, my most faithful co-caster, my lover even, and also two very friendly faces. Hotspot, you've definitely heard of him. Personally, my favorite caster of the whole bunch. And we have today's analyst, Gus, as he is known in some circles. So thank you all for coming out today. We definitely have a little bit of stuff to talk about before we get into our match. Hopefully having a 9:30 start time as usual, but yesterday Friday, our match started at 9:42, so we'll see what happens. First things first, Bush, I want you to give us a little overview. What do you expect to happen today? What are the histories of these teams? Just if you're not someone who's watched RGL before, what do you need to know about today?
I'm kind of excited. Obviously, these are the two teams that are usually considered number one and number two. 63E is usually unrivalably considered number one. You know, four of these guys are considered in the top five, arguably. You got Power and Adam on the 45E, and you got Zoft and Star on the 63E. I mean, these are both just really good teams with really deep rosters, but the 63E is definitely the bigger, deeper roster. So I think pretty much, in my opinion, the outcome of the game is just going to be who the 63E can field tonight.
Very fair. All right. And on that note, since we can go kind of into predictions here, 63 are kind of considered usually by most people to be the best team of the league. Hotspot, what do you think is going to go down tonight? Got two pretty strong teams, but one kind of usually considered to be the better. Do you think the 45E is gonna show them up, gonna show their true worth, or do you think this is going to be another case of number one and number two?
Tonight is going to be a huge show of the 63 in depth if compared to the 45E. If the 45E want a good chance and to put up a good fight, their star players like Adam and Rave have to show out, because if they don't show out, they're out of RGL. It's as simple as that. Because when you have stars like Adam, Power, and Rave not showing up and getting kills and doing work in their respective positions, like, just throw the whole game away.
Yeah, definitely. This is a case of two teams who have a lot of talent on them. It's just that the 63 usually shows up and they usually play very well.
They also just have so many more players, just to be
true,
completely
yeah.
honest.
Neither team have, I would say, bad depth. Like, both teams have a good number of players I would consider to be good. But the 63, Zoff, Dingus, Starblazer, Va, Ekwal, like
Chris.
I was going to say, Chris, it's a huge, I think, especially for this, it's going to be a huge question of the mid. Because you got Chris and Va on the 63E side, and I think like the only really big mid player from the 45E is Ryan, and I don't think I've seen him play so far.
Rave
Plays
mid.
It depends, because he's played Khan so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Hotspot was saying, you mentioned Chris there. Chris has only been in 27 rounds, according to the stat sheet. I'm pretty sure that's one game, maybe two games. The other players on their team have, let's see here, their top four all have over 70 rounds played. So Chris, in terms of attendance, might not be the highest. So I think the 63, the only way they really, unless they troll, obviously, I think the only way they lose this is if people just don't decide to come to the semifinals match. I want to go over to Gus. Oh, yeah. No,
even if Chris doesn't show up, to be fair, like, I don't know, it's just rough. Because, like, the 45E have good players and they have really good flanks, but, I mean, it just the 63E roster is just insane. You know, Star and Zoft and Ekwal and Mappin and Chris and Va together. It's just, there's just so many different players they're all so flexible to be able to play, majority-wise, to be able to play wherever they need to play on the line. That it's just tough to match them all the way around, you know?
Definitely, yeah. And since we have our most wonderful analyst here, Gus, I want to know from you. We heard from Bush, we heard from Hotspot. their predictions. What do you think is going to go down today?
You know, looking at the previous meeting between these two teams earlier on in the season, I believe the score line was very lopsided in the 63's favor, something like 15-4, 15-5 maybe, I don't recall. But afterwards, the interviews, Adam, the captain of the 45E, you know, he said that in the VC it felt much closer than what the scoreline reflects. Just those little mistakes that happened, say like in open melee, even on the line play, led to just that one like that one significant part of the round going to the 63, which then led them to win the round. So the scoreline there could be a little bit misleading, but I also want to point out 45E, you know, they won last year, right? I'm not like just blanking on this, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe.
Okay. So, you know, 45E again, they're missing key players like who have gone away, like Matt Bob,
right.
Italian Turtle, who is probably one of the best IGLs ever. As I wouldn't say I don't know how he is strategically, but he is a motivator. He couldn't get the most lazy person to do something, probably. He commands that from you. So, you know, missing that is very important and a hole that needs to be filled for the 45E in this fight. And I'm also looking at 45E's roster. From last RGL, they've added so many new people, like looking at players like Rave, Section, I don't believe Hunter played for them last year. Seven Nation, did I say Billjet?
No.
Billjet. Like, they're going into this with a completely different roster. So that core there from last year is vacant. But the 63, solid. I mean, I think they've probably had the same roster for 3 or 4 years now.
Well,
I don't know, because they got a lot of the people from the TRR.
Well.
no.
Without like,
they got a lot of people. No. They got a lot of people from the KRA, like
KRA
Bob,
as
Fitz, and
well,
Nico.
yeah.
well, I
And
will
Cerberus.
say, like, you know, the more significant roster shift is the 45E. Like, more than half of their, if they play 10, half of them will not be from last year.
True.
Yeah, I think kind of what you're saying about kind of a bigger change in their roster. The not the TR. The 45E has had more recent matches. So overall, in terms of number of matches in RGL, they have played more. So even though the 63 has less like new members, less of a it's not a whole new team environment. The 45E have had more matches to figure that out. So I think that's going to be important for them if those extra 1 or 2 matches actually, you know, mean anything for their team comp and what they can achieve. If not, I think we're looking at a pretty easy 63E win. But, you know, Adam was here Friday. He fully believes that the 45E are going to be able to show up and get that win. I vote for the best match, no matter who wins at the end. So I hope we do see a close one. But before we go into individual player stats, I do want to get first just a wild guess. What do you think the scoreline is going to be, and who do you think is going to take this match? Bush first.
I think it's definitely just a 63E win. I think if the 45E get anything like above 10, like that's gonna be good. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a good match. But I would definitely say like I don't know. I'd go like 15-8.
15-8. All right, and hotspot.
I honestly, listen, I'm a big underdog person, so I'm gonna go with the 45E here. I'm gonna go 15-13 45E.
Wow. Okay.
I think if 45E can lock in and get in, like, play their best game, they can win this. But they have to lock in and not. They can't have small mistakes. Like they have to play this perfectly.
And Gus.
I'm in the same boat with hotspot. I'm gonna say the 45E. Not to use the word upset, but you know, I believe they're going into this very not being the favorite in everyone's mind. I'm gonna say 15-13 45E, but you gotta look for players who haven't had a great impact so far, like Billjet, the Billijet, maybe Seven Nation, that they need to step up now. Otherwise, it's too late. They'll be out of the tournament.
Definitely, yeah. And how you're talking about individual player stats, especially in the 45E, where they don't have, they do have depth, but it's not as great as the 63Es. Billijet right now sitting at a number 10 spot on their team in terms of stats, isn't what they want to see. Billijet needs to show up. You need these other players. Seven Nation isn't even on the list of top 10. They need to, first of all, get in the server, period. Billijet has only played 41 rounds out of their 79. A lot of their other players, they're really spread out, actually. When you look at the 63E, almost every one of their players has been there for every match or, missing one match. The 45E has a big round differential in between their players. So I think they need to get their A team and get it in the server, period. And then actually playing well is a complete other thing. But let's go into the individual player stats, looking at the top 3 of each team. So this is collated by number of rounds played, and then your stats go into that. So the way I see it, even if you're the best player in Holdfast, if you don't show up, if you don't play, your impact on the team is negligible. So you have to both play well and be active to get into your top 3. In the 45E, we're looking at number 1, Rave. I think that's kind of expected. Had a great game against the 7 Foos. Lots of kills in that one from him. Kind of just destroyed our right con and mid at times. Followed by Adam, of course. Adam's probably one of the more well-known players on their team, and he certainly doesn't lack the skill to lead in that spot. And then Hunter is their third. I think the important thing to see on the 45E, if we're just putting our scope into the top 3, Hunter is out here with a 1.5 KD. So that's their third player, right? If you go down to the 63E, Dingus is their third player, and he has a 1.9. Every single 63E member has a higher KD than the bottom 2 45E players. And now, again, that could come down to just opponents, right? That could come down to match seeding. The 63 did not have to play the match against Space, although I'd argue that wouldn't help. Space was a B League relegation team who fought their way up into this league, and so I don't think that would have ended up lowering the 63's stats as much as it would just raise it. And when you go to the 63, you see Zoft with a 2.8. Brave, speaking from personal experience, most of our issues in terms of fighting the 45E were caused by Rave, and so you really and it's not that we fell apart due to him. He was just constantly getting kills, but he only has a 2.12 against right now, and that was with our match against us where we were 15-1'd. Zoft did not 15-1 a team in their last match. They haven't even played for a week, and he still has a 2.85. Starblazer 2.23, Dingus 1.9, and of course that doesn't go into just impact. You have to have impact if you have a high KD. You got to get the important kills. But we do see the 45E kind of making up in that statistical area. You're looking at 1.61 as their highest, and Zoft obviously still has a higher KD, but I'd argue that's more due to his impact rating. But I'd argue that's more due to his almost 3.0 KD than it is just getting important kills. All right, so it looks like most of our players are getting into the server. So real quick, we're just going to take a look at the bracket. So definitely kind of what we've expected, I guess, so far in terms of community predictions. I'd say the only real surprise was KRA versus 77th. The fact that 77th only got 5, I think, is a little surprising. From my 7 Foos limited group fighting experience, we've been pretty even with the 77th and the KRA. So the KRA able to get 10 rounds over top them is pretty big. 50 versus TRB, kind of expected. 51st is a really strong team. And of course, 51st KRA, that happened Friday, led to a 51st victory, 15-8. 63E, they've had a bye week. didn't have to fight Space. Space withdrew, so they're fighting the victors against the 7 Foos. 45E coming out of a strong match, 15-1, and that is an actual match played. So I think the actual impact of this might be negligible, but the 63 have had a bye week, so if their players weren't on practicing, there could be a little bit of washing happening. If you don't play for 2 weeks, it depends on what kind of player you are, but definitely could have an impact. But before we get into our match, I just want to go through our cast. With any last points you'd like to make, any last observances, if you're looking over the stats or anything you'd like to say, or just some final comments before we get into our match. Bush?
In terms of the, you're talking about the KRA 77th fight. I mean, yeah, that was like different, but at the time, everyone expected that purely because, I don't know if you watched it or not, but the KRA beat the 45E, and it was pretty handily as well. They were missing a couple of people, like Seven Nation and maybe like one other, but I mean, it was still like a super impressive show from the KRA. So they played well against the 77th, but we kind of expected it because of the way they played against the 45E, which I think is also pretty heavily in people's minds, considering their game against us wasn't super competitive, and then they came off of the loss from the KRA. So.
Yeah, and especially if you're looking towards our next matches being the finals, and then we also have the loser bracket, or not, I guess it's not a bracket, but your third place match. The KRA won against the 45E, so if the 45E can't beat the 63 this match, they're going to be facing the KRA, who lost against the 51st, so they would be put into the third place game against a team they've lost against 2 weeks ago. So that could be tough for the 45E if they're shooting for a second place or above. Obviously, either one of these teams could end up in second, third, or fourth from this spot on. I don't exactly know how the seeding goes on fourth place for that. But yeah, still, if you don't win, you can at least get second place. Or third place, rather.
Looking at the people in the server right now, and yeah, the 63 brought pretty much everybody, so it's looking rough.
I don't know how many of these are us and RGL staff, but the French team, home to the 63, has 19 players, and the UK, home to the 45E, only has 14.
King Monkey also. Not seen King Monkey in a while.
Yeah, and actually the UK is pretty much all 45E members.
And
so yeah,
Bushline.
Definitely a few more players brought, and in terms of the actual skill level, we'll definitely see in this match if they're ready to show up. Hotspot, any last words you'd like to say before we get into it?
I think we're gonna have an interesting match. If the 45E can lock in and really like pull together and get those up downs, don't get picked off the line, block first. If they can just like play their own game, they can easily win this.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of like you were saying, this is less of a question if the 63E shows up, because it's pretty likely that they will, and more of an issue if the 45E can really pull it together, plays a team, get their picks, and get a good advantage in this game. Gus?
Like really quick, just 63, really tight line play. You brought it up in individual stats. I think Rave also needs to have a really standout game for the 45E for them to get over that hurdle and really put up a fight against the 63, because you need to break that line play. It is so solid.
Starting?
It's starting, so I'll shut up now.
All right, yeah. Let me go ahead and get over to our game view real quick. 45E versus 63E starting now. All right, so just waiting for the players to get all situated and in the server. Again, 63 brought a lot of people to the lobby. So they do have, both teams had over 10s. They do have the flexibility of swapping some people out. But the KRA, obviously having the advantage there, bringing just a few more people.
The KRA?
There's the KRA, man. I looked at the British flag and said KRA. Sorry, the 63E.
Wait, the British flag and then 63E.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at the scoreboard and saw the British flag and then said KRA. Don't bully me.
Interesting. We saw this a couple weeks ago, but having Jay and Zoth playing together, I think, is pretty interesting to me. Having Star playing 1 on the right for Ekwall.
Yeah, they split. Apparently,
Zoth
the Stars off isn't really working anymore. That's what I've
Yeah.
heard from 63 members. So they split them up on the separate flanks.
Yeah, I think we saw a little bit of that at the beginning of the season in the first 45E fight. Because they weren't losing, but it seemed like they weren't obviously doing as well as you would expect Zoth and Star together to do. And I don't think they've had a consistent lineup the entire season. So pretty much every match seems to be they have somebody different off the line.
I'm interested in to see Rave lining up against Chris for this first round here.
That is a huge hole.
Budget first pick on Vala. Chris gets Shane. Done an open melee.
I think it's even right now. 3 picks for each. Ekwall gets one on the 7 Nation, though. Power on the Zoft.
They got to clean up that 3v1.
2 3v1s. Both one at the same time.
Okay,
even
4v4.
Ethan, Chris, Ekwall, Starblazer from left to right. Power goes in for a pick.
Ooh, no up down.
All 45-3.
Yeah.
Oh,
2v2.
2.
Power versus Ekwall.
Chris and Hunter.
They need a disconnect.
Chris has not thrown a stab yet. Oh,
That
oh.
goes down.
a good drag, and Ekwall gets the gamble.
I'm
was
gonna
close,
say
though.
that's a big round in momentum. Like it, 45E. It just shifted like so much. 45E or like down 2 at one point, I believe, and they bring it back to like a 4v4. The only problem is in the 4v4, I think I counted 3 upstabs from the 3 members of the 45E target switching onto one guy.
Yeah, that was not good.
And, then it goes to a 4v2, but then they bring it back to a 2v2. But fortunately, they just lose both 1v1s.
It did start very good for the 45E. Billjet got a nice pick very, very early on, and kind of nothing happened for a little bit there. I think they just got to press that advantage more. We kind of just saw that pick happen and then silence for like 5-10 seconds from no one. And obviously, 63, you don't want to like heavy push or anything instantly after one of your men going down. But if the 45E can try at least to exploit an early pick, that'll end a lot better for them, I think.
I don't know, it's tough because you get that early pick, and against a team like the 63E, they're just gonna close the gap together.
Yeah.
So you try and push that, it's like an instant up down. So
It's like
I think you
Dingus
got to
a
get
little
more than
AFK
one
off the
pick.
line.
Yeah, too far back.
Also, looking
63
pressing.
are shoving this left. Yeah,
Both
huge gap
flanks
in
are
between Jay
kiting.
and Dingus.
Ethan
Rave goes in though.
Adam
They've
gets a pick.
instantly down.
63 rights winning, but they're being
45E
held in a
on the mid
5v5.
though.
Looks like okay. 45V
Oh,
is
huge
backing off.
Disengaging.
All right. If 45V can get this
Noah's
one down.
stuck in a 1v5.
And Noah's still not dead.
All right. Advantage 45V.
65. Shane gets one. It's often a 3v1. He goes down.
Wow.
Great round. That was
I
a great
think-
round from the 45.
Yeah, the 63E regroup just didn't happen, and they let Noah block while S-keying for like an entire minute.
That
was just-
small delay lets the 45E kill that one guy that's behind
Yeah.
enemy line.
That's 5 whole guys that are stuck by one dude, not able to regroup.
So that was a good
I also want to point out before that round, only 6 people had kills in the lobby, I believe, with Chris, Ekwall, and Starblazer going with Chris with 4, Ekwall with 4, Starblazer with 2. None of them found a kill that round. And then on 45E, I believe Adam and Power both had 2, and then Section and Billjet with 1. So very top-heavy scoreboards for that first round, but it seems like it's picking up with only 5 members with no kills. Again, that's going to come
Amazing
down to
regroup
the.
call there
That's
from the
going to.
45E. Yeah, if they can just win with line play like that, that's so huge. Being able to play numbers, obviously.
Ooh, Ekwall goes down.
Yeah.
The left
like-
of the 45E begins to push in.
Star goes
Starblazer.
down. Still kiting the right.
But the 63 break through the right. A
We gotta take these 2
4v2.
down and turn.
They're holding. 63 have 2-man advantage, I want to say.
One man advantage.
Oh. Grumbler getting the gamble. 7 Nation losing the 1v1. That's tough. That's tough. That was the exact opposite of the round we just saw. That amazing regroup call from the 45E, allowing them to place a team, and then that one seemed like a lot of just individual 1v1s, 1v2 mistakes. Because they started off really strong, especially picking Ekwall and just isolating Starblazer and then up-downing Starblazer. I mean, that's huge.
But at the same time, what a great reaction from the 63. As soon as their right flank fell, their left flank washed
slammed
over the
on
45E. And you can see the tension. Like, in that regroup, you have 4 people on the 63 holding S-Keen, getting back to regroup with their 4 guys that were stuck on 2. Which it was kind of confusing watching that regroup for a second, because there was just kind of you can see the organization of both regiments and then the chaos off to the side. It's
Pretty crazy watching them win the 63 win that left side too, because Nico was one of the ones that up downed the one on the left, and he's currently dead center. So for the line to shift that far left, it's Rave has been moved
Seems
to the
like
3 on their left.
I think Rave's
Huge
been
gaps
there.
here in the
Rave's been
mid.
there.
Him and Green Dan
Oh,
swap.
Rave
Goes down though.
Ray goes down. 2 picks for the 63.
Open
Looks like they're
melee,
losing
but the
everywhere in
right,
open.
the left of the 63 is
Back
coming
calls
in.
gotta come in. Yeah. That's tough. 2v6, 1v6, 1v5. And Adam gets the 1 for the KD. Adam really carrying the backpack right now.
Yeah, if we do take a look at the the stats for the 45E, at least in the server, Adam has 10 so far, which is more than anyone on the 63E. But the big difference, 63, you have Ekwall at 7, Chris at 5, Nico at 5. Adam is at 10, and the next closest is Hunter with 4. So definitely, again, it was Adam getting those early picks earlier on in the game, like 2 rounds ago. So he does have those in his pocket, but it seems to be a lot of kind of just open melee errors made by the 45E. There's like they get an early advantage sometimes, and whether or not they do, it kind of just starts slowly falling apart. The 63 just knows what to do every round, no matter what happens, really.
They pulled a flank swap here. I'm interested to see how it works. So you got Power and Section and Hunter on the left. Moved Riv to the 4, so Green Dan's on the right with Adam and 7 Nation at the 1.
I think it's a good call here to shift Rave towards the mid, because in those early rounds he was playing 3, I think. But he was either playing too passive to where he was able to get picked, or he would just, he's a diver.
Dive. Yeah.
But
Playing
in
a
the
lot
mid, he
tighter
can,
on the left, which is nice. Oh, that's rough for 100 dying there.
The lines now
Still
have
holding it
shifted.
though, and there's 2v3 on the left. And the mid is just getting rolled. Section on his own in the 3. That's tough. It's only so long you can hold a line formation once you're getting picked.
Yeah, I think the rounds we've seen so far, the 63E have gotten an early advantage, and a lot quicker than the 45E getting the advantage. The 63 does know what to do whenever, like how to react essentially to if the 45E gets an early pick. But the 45E seemingly don't have that ability really. As soon as you see one or two of them go down, it's a lot quicker of a round than if it was the other way.
I think at least looking at it visually, the difference being if the 63E get picked, they just shrink so they can maintain their spacing off the line, so they're still
Yeah.
together for up downs and stuff. But the 45E are just staying man to man wherever they are. And if somebody gets picked in the middle, then there's just a gap there. And it allows the 63E to just kind of like force through that gap and split the line in 2 places and take 2 separate fights.
What I'm noticing is like 45E members are getting up down offline, and there's no one there to trade them out. So they just need to play tighter, and if someone gets
They're
up
also
down, they need
going
to trade
for
them out.
really bold target swaps to not have someone close enough for that trade.
Like, look at this spacing.
Yeah,
Starblaze
power
are
on the
taking a
left
1v1
here,
with power right now.
and 100 gets
45E win the right though,
it's
but
chaos on the
oh,
right, and they turned for the regroup and just got absolutely backstabbed. And Star held the 1 for the entire round, and a hit there on that. That's unfortunate. That's I don't know about that. I don't know if that regroup call was the right one. I think if they fight that, it's way more even.
I'm not sure what happened with the 45E there. Oh, but they're bringing in Pilot. Interesting to see who they'll drop.
Ooh, only 6 rounds. But...
Pilot, I believe Pilot does
Oh.
have Pilot with a 1.34 impact rating, but only 25 rounds played, and I'm not sure who it was against. But, still, he could hopefully bring something to the 45E.
Yeah, good historical stat line, but he is playing sort of this mid to left connector spot.
Yeah, he's playing 4 on the left for the con, so they could move Rave pretty much dead center here now.
Mhm.
Probably a lot more comfortable for him. Billjet and Green Dance swapping, so Billjet's playing the 3, Green Dance playing con.
Rave going 1-6 right now is also something, if you're the 45E, you don't really want to see.
Yeah,
As he has so much. He can have those 30 kill games, but it seems like the 63 are doing a good job of neutralizing him.
yeah. Seven Nation as well, going 1 and 5, playing over here on the right with Adam. You would think that with Adam, you got to be playing together here, especially against Zoth and Jay.
The right
Just
con of the
taking the 1
45E
on
seems to
Zoth is very
separate.
confusing.
The 45E, it seems
Just
to
need
be
to
an
clean it
even
up
in
in
the
the middle
mid.
here. Yeah.
They
They
should
turn.
regroup. I think they
45
Yeah. Rave needs to
Oh.
turn. Oh.
Power can waste so much time here.
Yeah. They have to finish Zoth here
Yep.
though, and not lose anybody at the same time.
No,
That is
no,
Team kill
an
no.
from
unfortunate team
Billjet.
kill. Yeah.
If
So
Power can
power
take.
goes down here with nothing, then it's gonna be rough.
Okay, still 4v3. They still have one up. Rough team kill, definitely. Looking at who's alive.
Yeah, Star, Chris, and Ethan.
45E splitting
7
up into
Nation Billjet.
2.
2 1v1s and a 1v2.
No.
Oh.
Ethan
Oh.
gets a pick on the 7 Nation.
All ones. Another
Starblazer
1v1.
kills Rave.
And a
Side
side block
blocking
there from
Billjet.
Billjet. Yeah. That is
Really
tough.
unfortunate.
The TK and then the absolute split straight into fighting that 4v3 there.
looking at it now, the score line 6-1. That 5-round gap is, I'd say, they have 5-round gap is, I'd say that's very safe for the 63. So they have
Yeah.
that room where they can have those small rounds where they mess something up, and then
Or just
the
try and
45
change something, try and send it through a con or push a side that they normally wouldn't.
Well,
Like you said, that's a lot of cushion, 5 rounds to
Mhm.
just do what you feel like you can.
But at the same time, they are, kind of, they've probably won 5 in a row now. Yeah, 5 in a row
Yeah,
now. So they're gonna just do the same thing.
true. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
if they
reason
keep
to
doing what's
change it. It's
working.
working. Yeah.
No picks in the mid and on the right flank. Biljet gets one, but the right of the
They have
63
to
is one.
turn, finish this one.
Adam gets backstab, but he 4v3 again. Shane, can you hold the 2v1? Adam, good play by Adam there. What a sacrifice by Shane.
Good up
Oh,
down. Oh, was that a hit onto
was that
power from Zoff?
or was that a hit on power? I mean on Zoft from power.
Not quite sure.
Both Ekwal and Ethan now hitting 10 kills. Adam the only one to hit double digits on his team. Rave though crawling up the board, 1 and 6 now at 4 and 8. Not that great, but good to see that his stats are going up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He is someone you need to perform.
not
we
what
do
they
still
need from
see-
Rave here, but
we do still see that issue I was talking about earlier, where the 45E has this big gap in between their top and the rest of their team.
yeah.
And especially with the people that aren't showing up right now, I think that the round count makes sense. I think your players who statistically have a big impact, but haven't in RGL right now, at least stat wise in the past few games. Those are the people you really need to look to as the 45E. You need them to show up. Like Biljet, for example, hasn't been to many games in the RGL compared to his teammates. So it may just be a little bit of a, not as much a recent, muscle memory being built. But whatever the reason is, they
Sorry
need
to interrupt,
these
but
lesser
huge
people to
gap
show
in
up.
the mid for the
Yeah.
45E.
In between
You could-
Biljet and Shane, yeah, it's just
You could
opening.
drive a Mack
And
truck
then
through
a
that
pick through
thing.
there, and it's open melee. Really messy in the mid. 45E
45E
completely
being
surrounded.
sandwiched.
Yeah. Man. And a backstab there on a non-call for Green Dan.
Hey, Gustav, what are you eating?
Jelly beans.
They
Is it
were
good?
even. The 45E there was even on the right.
I couldn't
They
I couldn't
just
open the bag, so I used my teeth, so that's why I was so close to the mic.
Yes, of course.
seemed like a 3v3 that they just didn't win there.
Oh, these things are busting.
What is it exactly you're eating, Gus?
Rave
Sour
moving.
Patch Kids jelly beans.
Oh, amazing.
They swapped Biljet and Rave. Rave moving to 3 on the right. And I think at some point I missed it, but Section and Power swapped. So Section's playing the 1 and Power's playing the 2.
It's basically a flank swap. Yeah, power switching to 2 though.
Curious to see Rave here at the 3. With most of his success so far being in that mid against Grumbler. I don't think any changes so far from the 63 lineup. Dingus completely AFK again. Whole line waiting for him.
45E are in an infinite kite here. Oh, they're starting to push now on the left, it seems. 63 correcting their line.
Again, good reaction from the 63. They just kind of know what to do no matter what the 45 tries.
Nice
Hunter
swap
gets
from
on onto
Hunter.
Ekwal. He's going to start running towards the mid.
Hoping
This
Section
45E
can hold
mid.
the 1.
Jay coming in behind though. Oh, what a block from Green Dan.
Green Dan in the 1. Somebody's got to help Adam. Amazing up down block from Adam.
Section
Bunch
now
of
in a 1v1
ones.
with Jay.
Ethan and Power. Wow.
Third up down from Section and Green
Yeah,
Dan.
it was a good
Ethan
drag
the only one on the
section.
left.
They need to throw
He gets
stab.
power.
Yeah. Just holding stabs there.
That was a crazy block from Green Dan. I think that honestly wins that team the 45 either round, stopping Jay from just going to town on the backs of the mid.
Yeah.
What?
And then
That's-
otherwise, everybody
Yeah.
turns. Because if he dies there, everyone turns, and then they get stabbed by the people still that they're chasing.
Incredible play from Green Dan. Some would say he was an up and comer, and was verbally disrespected in Wraith's melee server. If I'm Green Dan, that fuels me. A lot of trash talking going his way.
I think Rave also receives quite a lot of talk,
From who?
from everybody.
Wow, I can't believe people would slander him like that.
Yeah. Rave seems to be the community punching bag from what I've seen. It's looking rough here at the 5 and 10, middle of the pack. It's a good round win, or their last round. We'll see. Immediate pick on the left here. They're stretching too far with the kite. Bent in the middle, and they just took the 3.
Oh,
And
right mid of 45E winning. They're coming in, but they're gonna get sandwiched.
sandwiched right in between the left and right. Oh, that is tough to see. And Power and Section, they're swapped into each other. It's a miracle they didn't TK each other, but amazing potential for an up down and a 2v3, which would have made it a 2v2, which they could have very easily played off of, but tough timing on that.
To answer the chat, it is first to 15 for RGL, and I believe that includes the actual finals match next
Yeah.
week as well.
I think everything is first to 15, yeah. Nothing changing here from the 45E. Rave getting 3 kills that round. Cleaning up that mid, as we saw. Unfortunate that it didn't yield too many results in terms of a round win. Dingus AFK again. That is tough to see from the
Well,
63. I
I'm
would be a
pretty
little
sure.
angry with
I'm
that.
pretty sure he's in the his military barracks
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Okay.
So it'd be quite
Huge gap from the
Yeah,
mid. Shane
huge
gets a
gap.
free pick. Oh,
Huge gap
but
left on as well.
Chris
They need
just
a turn
throwing
for
straight
Chris.
stabs.
Yeah.
Biljet should hold him. Let his teammates come in.
Rave is just
goes
living
down.
here. He gets a hit in a 1v3.
Oh my God, he gets a
He
win.
makes it out. They up down. Wow. Amazing round from the 45E.
4-round gap now, but the 45E, starting to win rounds, trading rounds. I think if you're the 45E, you can't let the 63 get to 10 before, say, you get to like 7.
Yeah, I think it looks good though. I mean, if that round means anything, Rave is showing up. I mean, he lived in that 1v3 for forever and also got out. And
Now
then
third on the
proceeded to up
leaderboard.
down. Yeah, he's definitely bringing it back. The blocks, he's blocking like an animal right now. And the mid, as we've seen in the past few rounds, has been playing well from the 45E.
Yeah, Shane there getting a pick, but then he got a little eager there, throwing the stab at Chris, and Chris just absolutely turns on him, and then he gets another pick, I think. But good play by Biljet, holding him up, not letting him regroup with the right.
Divination still
with only 1 kill here on the right. Zoth with 12 across from him. .45E pushing this left, stretching out really far.
Seven Nation now in a 2v1. He goes down. 45E need to win left here. The right's
Pick
collapsing.
on power on the left. They got a clean up star. Good up down. Rave gets the
Rave gets a free
backstab.
pick. Rave goes down. Section only alive. Oh, nice switch from Section, but not enough.
It was a good play there to just all dive in and completely divide the 63 up, but I mean, it just goes to show you how disciplined they are, that none of them threw the stabs, they didn't TK each other at all. They just waited and all up down. Raven Green Den swapping again. Rave moving to the 4, Green Den into 3. I think honestly for the 45E, I think we just need to see more from the left here. Power got picked there for free because section was stretching way far left. Hunter's throwing stabs in the con, and Power just gets up down by the 2 and the 3, and that leaves Section and Hunter in a 2v2. Heading right, pushing left.
The Lions have now flipped from their starting positions. They might do a full 360.
They might. Seven Nation.
Oh, Seven Nation.
Good pick from Seven Nation. And Adam just leaving him for the
Pick from
1v1
the
again.
mid, though, from Chris.
Nico goes down.
2 1v1s on the right.
Billjet needs to hold Chris.
45E have to
Chris
clean
goes
these up.
down.
Very clean. Have to get Zoft here.
Oh,
Those
no.
two need to regroup. Billjet. Oh. 5v3. Still super winnable from the 45E here. And 1 pick, 2
my,
pick, 3v1. Oh, that
close
was
regroup. It was a 3v3 for literally not even half a second there.
yeah, that was heart pounding.
But at the same
Billjet to go
time,
down like
what-
that. Yeah.
At the
A
same time,
5v3.
what's Billjet doing? Like, does he
just
need a
back
map?
completely turned. I don't know whether that was not a call there or he just.
I don't know.
I don't know if he wasn't paying
I don't know if-
attention.
just trying to
A
throw it
team
back.
huddle here from the 63E. I like this. I like this.
Speaking of huddles, I would like to commend the 45E. They have been taking their time in pre-round, so I hope. Obviously, I'm not in their comms, but I hope they've been taking this time to talk. If they have been, and really they're focused on their strategy, it has been working out. 63 did have I believe it was a 4-round streak that is now not been revisited at all once after they got that streak. So if they are talking and taking their time, it has been working out for them. I just like to. It's something I like to see teams do. Realizing that, you have, what is it? I think it's I don't know if it's a minute, however much time there is between the end of the last round and the auto live of the next is needed time to strategize and talk to your team and fix issues that we definitely saw the 45E having earlier in the game.
I do think it's a minute and a half. Yeah. The whole line.
Power
no.
just goes in.
Section in the 1 with Star, and this is looking bad.
The right of the 45E?
Right is winning. If
Oh
Billjet
my gosh.
if Billjet cannot die here,
Oh, instantly
Section
dies.
let's start swap.
Rave
Still
getting 2 there.
5v1. Oh.
That was a good round
Rave-
for 45V. I mean,
yeah, amazing
Two
from the right for the 45E.
like 2 45V members.
Rave
died
Rave
instantly.
going from 1 and 6 to 15 and 12.
Yeah,
That's exactly
Amazing.
what the 45E need.
yeah.
also-
He needed those warm-up rounds. He really needed
Mhm.
those warm-up rounds. He's doing really well now.
Yeah,
Moving
I
it
want
back
to point
9
out
and 6, which is very competitive and definitely not what we are expecting a few rounds into this match.
the fact that, the 63 huddling there, it shows that they have something to worry about here. So they might now, you know, like you got to take it in the mental game here. The 63 might now be on the back foot in a way because obviously something caused the team huddle. Like, that doesn't just happen normally. Like something, Starblazer sees something wrong, and he wants everyone to, stop doing what they're doing.
He stopped fiddling
Literally
with their mouse and
huddling.
A and D keying, actually forcing them to pay attention.
Like huddling in a video game. Like,
Yeah.
it's something you do in football.
The 63 not really pushing any. Oh, they're minus. I say that they push the right again.
This left is just like kind of spacing out.
Oh,
Two
and
trades.
Star getting immediately
Oh.
up down.
Left flank of
45E.
Left flank of the 45E win.
They just gotta be careful with the mid here since they're so stretched.
The 63 are
Hiding the
literally
right.
just W keying into the faces of the 45E trying to stop.
That is rough.
This is a great set of rounds from the 45E.
It is.
Really giving them some momentum here to work with. Now, from a 5-round deficit to a 2-round deficit.
Yeah, like I told you, like the 45E need to lock in, and that's what they're doing right now. They're locked in, and they're playing their game. Not
The hotspot prophecy is coming
They
true.
are.
Because
Kiting super well on the right.
The biggest thing in Holdfast is playing your own game, not theirs. Like if you can play your own game and not their game, you can win every single game, every single match, every single round. You can go 15-0 if you play your game and not theirs.
And that was what we were seeing earlier on. It was a lot of the 45E getting a pick, getting some early advantage, and then the 63E just reacting expertly to whatever the 45E thinks up. Whereas now we're seeing that's kind of happening almost the other way around, right? Even if the 45E does get the first pick, we don't see that same kind of really, really accurate and well thought out kind of resituation. That's not a real word, but like redevelopment of their line where they shrink instantly to meet what they need. We're seeing a lot of earlier open melee. Unfortunately for the 45E, that's working out in their favor.
Flank swap here from the 63, which I think is just what they needed. Also, Equal and Star swap, so Star's playing the 2, Equal at the 1. I think partly their failure was Star was playing super aggressively, and him and Equal are both just in turn getting up down because of it. Section stretching super far. I think they need to take advantage of this in some way, either with the 2 or the 1.
No kill so far by Green Den. Starblazer onto Green Den though. Quick trade. Oh,
Another pick
looks like
here from
Starblazer
Star.
went through Adam's block there for a second. I can't lie.
Good up down
But
from
the
Equal and Star.
45E, it is a
No.
3v5 under power and section. They go in. Team kill. Hit from Hunter onto
It's
Equal,
tough.
but
Getting stuck in that 2v1. Still a really good round from the 45E. I mean, that's a lot closer than you would like it to be as the C3E, considering the picks that they had in the beginning.
Rave now at the top of the scoreboard, overtaking Adam. They also, Rave going down early there. In those regroups, Rave can. I like to go back to my roots of mass hysteria. And 2 years ago, when I started like going to pickups and stuff, I'm like, if you dive them, they panic. So I think the 45E just need to instill more panic on the 63.
A flank
can
swap
see them-
here from the 45E.
Flank swap also from the 63 last round you mentioned.
Yeah. So
But
swapping
at the
to
same
match it.
time, as you're making these changes. When I won HDL season 2, my opponent I knew was making changes left, right, and center, and you just can't let the 63 get into a groove with this new change because I think Holdfast is all about momentum here. Starblazer gets a pick on the Hunter though.
Jay and Zoff swapped as well, so Jay is the one in the 1v1 over here with 7 Nation.
Team kill from Starblazer.
Zoff doing his movement over here on the left. It's even.
Another team kill. 2 team kills from the
Chris
63 this
living.
round.
Oh,
Oh.
45E super clean on the left. Got to clean up the right
Power's
if you're the
gonna get away.
63E.
Looks like both
Section.
Jay has got to run.
Section's gonna come back into the picture here.
They
these
got to
60,
turn to
these
kill
60,
section
yeah,
here.
these 63 members
Yeah.
have to realize that they need to turn and get section.
Unfortunate for Jay.
Section's gonna be able to bring the 63 into range of his teammates and stay alive. The 63 are now gonna be enveloped. Down goes Ethan.
Section goes
Equal
down.
finds one, but he
Grumbler
only
living
delays
there
the
for a
inevitable.
long time.
Really good round there. I mean, you know, it was a good round from the 45E, capitalizing off the 63's mistakes. In the 63 left flank, I believe Starblazer team killed. Starblazer may have team killed Va, and then Ethan team killing Starblazer in a 2v1 situation with Power,
That's
allowing
not
Power
good.
to survive and get into the open melee at the end there.
Any team kill is rough, but
Also Section surviving on the left.
yeah,
So
true.
I'm not
For them
sure
just
what
letting him
happened
get
there.
away there, yeah. Trying to
not
help
sure-
Jay, I understand, but like, yeah, there's 6 guys there in between you and Jay. You just gotta have him waste the time and get the guaranteed one.
Not sure what happened exactly on the right, because Section staying alive, Power staying alive, and it looked like the 63 had one right. Not sure. The 45E forming a Big Dipper like formation with Section.
Starblazer goes down.
Huge pick from Power.
Rave goes down though. 63 get 2
2v1,
picks. Seven
Oz
Nation
living.
gets on the J. The 45E.
They
Seven Nation's
need
gonna have to take
clean
the
this-
fight. Oh my god, team kill from the 63,
Looks
giving
good.
that team kill
5v6.
makes it one
Even.
less in favor
Oh
of
no,
the
no, it's
63.
no, it's 5v6. 45v has the 1-man advantage on them.
63 compacting.
Wow,
Down
what are you
goes
doing?
Va.
Right,
Shane
yeah,
gets
really
Dingus.
rough stab there from Va. Grumbler gets 1 and a hit, but
10-9. 45v,
Yeah.
1 round down. When they were originally, it was a 6-1. I mean, this is a good match, an intense match. It's definitely.
Yeah, I
one
said
of-
earlier I wanted an exciting match, no matter who won, and at this point we're getting it.
this one is definitely very
Yeah,
exciting.
especially in the next 2 rounds, because like if 45v wins this, they're on level. Like if they win this round and another, they're in the lead, and that can be very scary for the 63.
Yeah, I think a big part, reading chat, TKs, the 63E.
Yeah.
man, they need
Back-to-back rounds of
they
TKs
need
and
to stop TK.
and the TKs lead straight into mistakes. Va there throwing a stab that he just really had no business throwing straight into an up down when they're already down 1 man is just really rough to see.
Yeah, Seven Nation in a 1v5, holding that up block and jumping in between the 63 members, one team
Yeah.
kill, and all of a sudden it's a 6v5. Clear advantage 45e. The line spreading out far
Oh,
now.
Adam getting
One pick
picked
from each.
immediately.
Jay goes
Seven
down.
45E
Nation trying
right
to
has
punch
won.
Starblazer.
No,
What is
wow.
that from Va? What is that?
Oh,
what is
no,
that from
Rave.
Okay,
Rave?
from Rave.
Okay, but they fix it.
A
45v
regroup.
advantage 1.
Here for a 3v4. Starblazer has been hit on a drag.
Then
Raven
you
Throwing double
powering
ups
into
at
up
Star. Zoft and Star
Gumbler
swapping
goes
into
down.
each other.
Starblazer and
Star
Zoff.
goes down. Oh.
Oh.
So as you saw that round, TKs all around, not from just one
10
team, both teams.
10v10 with 5 rounds left to go for each team to win. 45e have momentum going into this, definitely.
Huge
Bringing it back.
momentum. I mean,
This
I think that's 2 straight rounds on top of. It's not just hard fought rounds. It's 63E mistakes. It's TKs
That's
and
3 in a
missed
row. 3 in a
regroups and 3 in a row. Yeah.
I have a paper
mean-
due at 11:59, and like, I'm putting it off to watch this. Like,
Oh, and like the 63E are so shaken up. Look at the changes to this line. Zoff playing 3, Dingus playing 2, Chris and Va being moved to dead center, Nico and Grumbler being moved to cons.
Yeah, like
Ekwal playing the 2, Star playing the 1 again.
I just want to know that round too. Like, what happened with Va there? Like, I don't like. Did anyone else see that? Like,
Yeah,
what? he like 360'd on Casper the Ghost and stabbed his teammate.
Yeah, and then he side blocked.
I literally like my jaw dropped. I was like,
Not much action in the mid, it seems.
Section
63.
Very,
The 63
very
are
far.
staying tight
Yeah.
into their line. They don't
Section
want
is
any
way
mistakes.
out here on his own.
They're like a spear
63
tip right
kiting.
now.
Yeah, huge kite here from the entire 63 team.
The 63 is about to explode though. Any moment now, they're gonna
Looking
push
like
out.
a U here.
Oh, Belgic gets the
Oh,
first kill on
Belgic
me.
gets
Yeah.
a pick. This is
Adam
where the
getting
63
another
have
pick.
to activate. Oh,
It's
Looks like
just
they just go
40
down one by
fighting
one.
across the board.
Not a single 63E kill yet in this round. Still.
flawless
Oh,
round
wow.
for
Flawless.
45E.
Flawless.
Oh boy, this is gonna get good.
This is
It's already good. It's
messy.
gonna get better.
It is really
Yeah,
good.
even better. I think a big part of what we saw, now this was a kind of a plus to the 63 earlier on, where they were very, very team driven. They could react as a team. Someone died, no matter where it was, the entire line shrunk down to match. That round right there, where they formed this U shape, theoretically it's good, but when you lose every single pick and half of your U shape is now gone, it just falls apart. There's nothing you can do. 45E members are coming from behind you. In that situation, they absolutely need to either get some sort of a push and kill on either side. As we saw, one of the 45E members, it was Section wrapping around. Get him at least something to get you an advantage, so you're not literally back to back with your own teammates.
Yeah, I mean, like if you look, if you thought in the beginning, oh, it's 6-1 63 leading, like, oh, surely they're gonna run away with this match, but clearly it's been a big trend of events for the 63. Now down by 1 round, 10-11, and
Yeah,
they
the hotspot
like-
prophecy coming true yet again, saying they're
now
gonna lead.
now the 63 need to lock in because the 45V got locked in, and now they're leading, and now the 63 need
The
to lock in.
63 very aggressive on this left. The lines are going to invert 90 degrees here.
Yeah.
The 63, the 45 have just turned
turning
around
and running.
run. Oh my god, they
63
literally
cutting
swapped
the right.
places. They have now swapped places. This is amazing.
They're still turning.
Will they go
They're
again?
still
Will they
turning.
go again?
Oh my god.
Not a
Oh my
single
God.
move here made in the mid.
270 degrees. 270 degrees.
Like no
Did
side
we
wants to fight.
Did we get 360?
Oh my god.
Oh, we're
It's
so
gonna
close.
be close.
360.
We're so
Oh
close.
my god.
We're at, like,
360
Oh my
degree
God.
rotation
The
here.
63.
Oh.
Picks from the 45E. The left of the 63 is
It's
going to sweep in.
chaos.
The 63 have the
63
clear
is
advantage.
heavily up.
Oh my gosh.
What just happened?
A full 360? A full 360
A 360 spin
degree.
into basically open melee. I
Oh my.
think the lines just demolished and turned into complete chaos there.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my. Oh,
That is insane.
I think the crucial aspects of this group fight is who can put 2 rounds together next will win this group fight.
Yeah.
We have seen a lot of I think it was Gus earlier talked about momentum. We've seen both teams engage in a multi-round streak at different points. So I think whoever can get their hands on that momentum next, we just saw 45E round followed by 63E round. If this keeps happening back and forth, there's no real clear kind of one team that we can say this team is going to win from this point out. But if either one of these teams can start that momentum and keep it going, that's definitely the key to if you want to get a nice easy win even after this very difficult.
They're doing it again. They're doing it again. Oh my gosh.
This
Will
is
the 45E just
45E
turn
gotta
around
be
and
careful
run
here.
now?
They're really close to the
90
spawn
degrees.
here.
45V are just holding stabs and standing. They're not really running
Oh,
away
but
like they were.
What
the
is the
45E
shuffling
left
here
is
from
getting
the
aggressive.
63E? Yeah.
They have now turned 180, but the 63 are
Star
somehow
playing
in
super
45E spawn.
passive.
Oh my gosh, they're doing it again. The 63
turning around
left
and
flank is
running.
turning around and
Turning.
running. Star is running.
Really close stabs there from him and Seven
Another
Nation.
360, 2 rounds in a row. What a
Huge
pick by
pick from
Hunter.
Hunter.
Oh,
Pick
Pilot
back.
goes down.
263
Hunter.
picks.
7 Nation gets one.
45E
Rave?
crushing the left.
It could be anyone's
Have
round
to
right
clean
now.
this one.
Oh my god, what a block
Has
from
to
Va.
live here from Va.
Va staying
45.
alive.
No.
45E
up one.
advantage.
5v3,
Up
5v3.
2.
Whoa, what was that? What was that from
Before.
Chris? The stab wasn't even onto the screen, and he kills Adam. But Chris goes down. Jada
Goes
fall.
down.
In a 45E
Oh my
round.
gosh!
Wow.
What is happening? What is
45
happening?
take the lead
Rave
again.
is 31 and 15
Oh my
right
gosh.
Listen,
now.
that's what the 45 needed. Rape
What
to show
is
out,
going
and he's currently
on?
showing out.
Oh my gosh! What is happening?
It's like the 45E are powering themselves up with these spins. I don't understand it.
With a generator,
It
handheld radio.
doesn't make any sense.
Mike,
This line
Nothing is
play is
changing.
blowing my mind.
Nothing is changing. They're
Like,
just revolving, and then
hello.
it's just all of a sudden they just like. And they were
Oh
down
my-
there too. A huge pick from Hunter, but it was 2 picks back. Hunter and Pilot both going down, and the 63E just crumbling on their right side here to Adam and Green Dan.
I would like to
This-
mention this is both teams. The 2 rounds prior compared to last round was actually a clockwise rotation followed by a counterclockwise rotation. So both teams have now kind of led into that 360. This isn't just like a 63 tactic. This is a mindset we're seeing from everyone.
He's
right
off back
They're
at the
gonna-
one
gonna do
with
it
K
again.
again, being super aggressive,
Third round.
spinning
Oh my God.
again.
Super aggressive.
Huge gap.
63.
Pilot is so far back. I can't believe
Mhm.
Va doesn't do something there.
The 45E, right? Those gonna get caught. Section, and Hunter getting picks. The 63 are down.
You're super close together.
Va gets in the mid.
63 mid.
Chris,
Up down, huge. Nico, huge stab.
Nico.
Ethan gets backstabbed.
It's
Adam living.
one up,
Cast
one
up
up,
down. Up
63.
down on Adam.
Rave goes down.
Oh, no
Power gets
TKs.
one.
No TKs.
What a block!
Oh.
Oh, but he goes down.
The
Oh
double
my.
downs. Both
12,
blocked.
12. I think this is closer than anyone would have expected.
It's absolutely huge.
Again,
Yeah.
this comes down to my old hockey coach had a saying, my team would be tied or we would be, up by 1. If it goes either way, you need to find the ending. You need to he would say you need to stomp on them. Like you can't let anybody gain momentum here. These rounds are crucial. Crucial. The smallest mistake can mean you're out of RGL.
And whichever team wins here, I think is definitely the favorite to win the whole thing. So, being out here is just for either team is super unfortunate.
Again, yeah, Rave 31 and 16. What did I say? He's the player that can have that 30 kill game, and he's proving it.
Yeah,
Starting
I
1 and
actually-
6.
I actually threw up a stat earlier
Yeah.
that Adam had taken over Rave's spot of top kill count and KD, but Rave just showed up and now
Absolutely
takes that spot
rocket
back.
shitting back to the top. He was 2 and 9 at one point.
Again, the 60 they're doing
Yeah.
the same thing. Same
Dude,
thing.
Has
their
to.
fourth round
I
in a
feel
row.
like
Section's just
Va
gonna run.
has to take.
Section can literally run in behind the 63 line here.
They just leave section and up down the.
They just
and
leave
Jake
him.
gets
Section gets a
backstabbed.
pick.
but it's
Trade
it's a
1 for 1. 1 for 1.
Line is even. They're still spinning.
It's literally like a smile.
They're
with
turning.
each line.
Power is turning. Power and Hunter are running. 63 is still kiting here on the right.
Oh, power.
Power
Huge
goes
pick on the
down.
power. 63 upper 1, and they're still kiting on the right.
Pilot running amok in the mid. 63 pulling it back.
Huge 63 cleanup.
Oh my
A
gosh.
TK. Oh my god.
13-12. This line play is blowing my mind. Like, I don't know. How do you stop this?
Yeah.
You can.
I mean,
They're
think
both
Section-
doing it. I don't know.
this line play isn't really helping the 45V. I don't think. 'Cause
Mhm.
if you see, the 45V always getting picked first.
Yeah,
instead of
I
being
think
the
it's
first pick.
also because some of these guys that I don't think play as much like Pilot just have absolutely no clue what to do when they're in that
Yeah, 'cause-
situation. Because Pilot is playing like 5 yards behind the rest of the line. I think the 63 really need Va to take advantage of that here, since he's lined up across from him. I mean, well, not a flank swap from the 45E.
I think
So
another
he's
thing
now on
we
the
need
left.
to kind of consider here is Section. Last round was or
Yeah,
was it
just
Seven Nations?
completely
No,
on
Section.
his own.
Yeah,
No, his section.
literally
Yeah.
behind their one,
63,
and if it
yeah.
wasn't for a lucky range stab, he could have just wiped their first 3 team members. So I think he's the key right now. If they keep playing this exact way, both teams, if Section can get those early picks, get an advantage early on, that's the secret sauce that the 45E need to win in this style. Or we need to see a change of tactics here from the 45E, not letting
They're
that
already
spin
turning
happen.
and running, and a backstab
Oh,
on the Equal
That's the top fragger of 63 gone. Free kill.
immediately.
Oh my god, they're getting
No line
cornered.
play. They're
They have
getting
nowhere to
back into
go.
the
They have
corner.
nowhere to go.
The left has to push, but they're down. They're
Oh,
being
pick
up
from
down.
Adam the meta.
A pick from Jay. Up down Adam,
Uh-oh.
please.
Va
A
in the
hit
right
on
lane,
Adam.
45E. Rave gets
Adam
Va.
is still
Rave gets
alive.
another. Pockets of
Billjet
resistance from the
blocking the
63.
backstab.
Ethan in a 2v1. He
Star
finds
going
one.
down.
What is happening?
Off going down. Ethan getting
Ethan
one,
get-
but it means
Oh.
nothing. Oh my lord.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh Nelly.
I have
Oh,
never.
Nelly.
Billjet blocking 2 huge backstabs, both being backstab upstabs there.
This
I
was,
think that saves the round.
honestly, this is a better game than their final last year, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, if there's ever a game I want to see go absolute max rounds down to like a
14,
1v1 in the
14?
last
Yeah,
round,
100%.
like 2-minute round duel, like as long as this game can go, I want to see more of it. This is one of the most exciting matches
Wow.
I've ever viewed, let alone had the pleasure to cast.
I would have
just-
expected a 63E swap here.
This is better than some of
Those
the real
flanks did
sports
not
I
look
watch.
good last
This is
round.
better than some of this is crazy. Oh my.
And I feel like this is like, honestly, this is probably like more intense than a final because, like, there's a lot on the line.
It's so close.
Two top 10 contenders again trying to get into the final will always be a good match. But
Very
none of them want to
stretchy
back
here.
down. They're going the
Huge
other way
hole in the
now.
left
They're
con.
going the other way now.
63.
The 63 can't.
They're already
they
in
have to.
spawn though. They're in
The
spawn
63
here.
have
Star
to
has
get
to be
past,
super
though.
careful.
They can't get
They're doing
cornered.
the
They
same
cannot.
thing just the other way now. where the
Equal's
63
in the
just
middle
gets
of
cornered.
nowhere.
The huge gaps
Star
in the mid
being
from the
forced against
63.
the wall. Grumbler has to live here. Huge pick from Grumbler.
Trades coming out from each team.
Big block from Chris.
5v4 in advantage
Chris
45e.
going down here in the middle. 45E winning in the mid. Dingus staying alive.
2v2 people coming in from the 63.
2v6
Can they do anything?
here. And they get
Oh,
absolutely nothing.
Match point 45V.
Match point
One more.
45e.
One more.
This is where everything comes down to the smallest minute detail.
I might
Every player
blow.
is sitting on the edge of their seat. They don't want to be the one to make the mistake. So if I'm the 63-year, I'm pushing the advantage. I'm getting aggressive. Honestly, that's
The
my
lineups are
perspective.
not changing here, and yet we're still seeing opposite directional spins each round. It is mind blowing to me. The past 3 rounds, the lineups have been the exact same, and they have alternated which way they spin each round. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand what's going on.
Four players now on 45E breaking 20 kills. Power, Adam, Hunter, Rave, and 5 on 63E. Starblazer, Equal, Chris, Soft, Ethan.
Va just one off.
This is one of the best group fights I've ever watched.
Rave and Hunter both with above 30, and Adam one off of 30. These top 3 from the 45E really putting in work together.
They fixed that issue I had way early where it was just Adam up top. They have 3 people who might get 30 kills this match.
Well, 2 of them already have 30.
The lines aren't spinning yet.
Section
They begin
way
to.
out here again, all on his own.
Oh my
The
He
line
is-
is forming a mouth. The line
Where
is
is
literally like a
the mat
smile.
robes? Come on, Section, go.
The map bob.
What is
you
this
mean?
kite? Matt Bob, sorry, Matt Bob. I want to see the Matt Bob
2v1
mid
2v1 on the
backstabs.
right. 7 Nation goes down.
63 crushing the left here. Adam
Adam
going
in
into
a
a
1v3. He
1v3.
goes down.
45E pushing the mid and not getting anything.
Team
a TK
kill.
from Pilot.
63. This is a 63 round.
This
is going
63 round.
all
14.
Max rounds.
all
And Section will get
41
nothing.
all 29 rounds. This is amazing.
This is everything. This is like the round, like the round. Everything's on the stake for all 20
For all
players
the
right now.
marbles. This is
All the
it.
marbles.
In this situation, you could either be the hero, or you could be the person to let down your team.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Huddle
one
coming out
person
from
could
the
make the team
45E.
lose.
Biljet
Yeah.
giving the speech. He's getting them rallied up. I can already
He
tell.
is.
The
If everyone
63
have
stand firm.
a coach cam or a comms link into the comms of one of these teams, this is it. I cannot imagine both the stress but also the excitement after a
Star,
match
I think,
this good.
also talking to the team, spending so long standing up on the board.
This is
If
definitely
anyone is stressed here,
definitely
I
a
think
good
it's
fight.
definitely Star.
Rave
From what we've
Hunter
watched
and
so
Adam.
far.
Rave Hunter, Adam not getting a single kill last round. Their stats remain the same. As Ekwal gets 2 more, it seems like. A match point, all of the marbles. Who will be going to the finals of RGL?
Forever looking to
Section here,
regain
all the
their
way out
last year's
again, but Zoth
goal.
matching him in the 1, Jay in the middle of nowhere.
45E need to condense here.
Hunter just coming into Va.
45E was
Hey,
gonna condense.
7 Nation all the way out here on his own as well. Up downing
hit on
Adam, but it's a
Adam the
hit.
meta? Oh, 7
Oh.
Nation.
Oh no!
Green Dan and Adam in a 2v2. Green Dan going down. Adam gets the pick back. Adam and Star together. Nico getting killed. Biljet and Shane, Rave throwing downs together. Up down onto Ethan.
Team kill.
3v5.
Team kill. 3v5. Rave going in. He's alive still. Down
Rave
goes
dead.
Rave.
1v4.
Oh, it's Adam.
Oh.
If it is anyone, it's Adam. 1v3,
Oh.
and it's
There
over.
we go. The 63E pick
Wow.
up a last round after one of the most intense matches of Holdfast I have ever seen. We saw early rounds come out from both teams in terms of streaks. The 63 having a I fucked up my broadcasting there, but the 63 having a multi-round advantage over in the beginning, leading back to the 45E just sweeping a couple rounds, but it wasn't enough. After round trades, countless, I think 6 rounds in a row, we saw a 360 type of maneuver come from each team. That was definitely one of the most insane matches I've ever watched of Holdfast probably in the history of this game.
My draw is dropped after that match. That is I believe that should be the textbook definition of a Holdfast group fight.
Absolutely amazing game from both teams, but the thing is, I know from being a team captain that Star has to be absolutely fuming right now that it went that many rounds and that there were so many. No, Star. I mean, they won, but like it's looking at it, the mistakes that the 63E made in the middle of those rounds, like four rounds I think there in the middle that they lost off of TKs. That it came that close that they had to force something in that last round to win. I think Adam has to be happy there. That was an amazing game. Like we mentioned, I don't think anyone expected the 45E to do that well, and they just proved to us that they are an amazing team, and they really played well.
And if I want to be honest, the 63E might feel like they didn't win, but they didn't lose, but they didn't win. Because when you're up 6-1, like you're thinking, oh, we got this in the bag, and then the match ends, it's 15-14. It really makes you think, like, did that really happen? Did we really win? Because of just how well the 45E came back.
Yeah, almost the feeling of it's like you're like, oh, it's over, like, but at the same time, they made the adjustments. 45E, I'm not sure the max they had was a 1-round lead. If I'm the 45E, I'm feeling a little bit down, but at the same time, you can't get too down because again, starting 1-6 and the group fight ending 15-14, the 45E did something to change and bring it to the very last round.
Yeah, once you get that many rounds down, it's very, very easy to lose hope, and kind of just, give up, really. Like, once you start seeing that scoreboard just keep going up and up and up for the enemy team, it's hard to keep your faith in the game. But the 45E more than brought that back. They went from a losing streak to a winning streak, in the span of like 3 rounds, and then they kept being competitive the whole way through. Neither team really getting any more momentum. It was back and forth up until the last round. So if you're the 45E, like you said, it's a loss textbook wise, right? If you look at the bracket, it's 45E lose to 63E. But in terms of just a mental game and what they were able to achieve, that's the most you can ask from a team, in my opinion. But both teams really showed up. They tried their hardest. It just, when it came down to it, 63 were able to get that last round. Both teams match point. 63 just able to edge it out.
I do want to look at the scoreboard here. 7 members of the 63 dropping 20 kills. That is insane. 7 out of 10, a majority of the team, 20 kills each. Even though some of them are, like, 2 of them are not positive with 20 kills, dropping 20 kills is significant. Comparing to the other side of 45E with 2 members not getting to double digits, it's like this came down to depth.
Definitely, yeah. And we were talking earlier too about I think the big secret that the 45E figured out was just starting to get kills. Really, Adam had a nice performance starting out, but it wasn't until we saw Rave and Hunter start getting these kill streaks that they really truly shine, and that's what we wanted to see from the 45E from the beginning. Was that kind of play style, which they ended up getting to.
So Power, very very good match, very intense.
Yep.
Very nice. So what were your thoughts going into the match?
Well, we kind of just wanted to do, like, we had been practicing a lot recently, and we wanted to do a lot better than we did last time. Last time we lost 5-15, and we significantly improved, and borderline probably. I mean, we made a lot of mistakes near the end a little bit, but we played really well.
Yeah, definitely a good show to watch. Very exciting overall. What I really want to know is, we saw this big kind of overall power, not to make a pun out of it, but this power swap between the 63E and the 45E, like 7 rounds in, it was 6-1 45E, and then it in the matter of 5 rounds, it was competitive. Both teams were up to pretty much equal score lines. What kind of allowed that change to happen, in your opinion, and why did it end up not becoming just a wipeout match from the 63?
Well, we had great like what changed was we had better communication. I wasn't on edge. Section went to edge, and so me and Section communicated really well what we wanted to do. Then me and Hunter just formed a new edge and won our side. On the other side, Seven Nation and Adam, they also had really good communication. So just overall, like, everyone communicating is what kind of brought it back, in my opinion. I've never seen such great communication before. I've been in multiple different regiments, and this was probably the best I've ever seen tonight.
Oh, definitely. Any other questions from our co-casters and analysts?
It was a tough question, but was there a conversation there in those, like the 10th, 11th round there? Was there a conversation with Rave that, like, something needed to change? Or was it just like him being upset and realizing that he needed to play differently?
Well, it wasn't necessarily like a swap up or like conversation with. Well, it was a swap up. We didn't really have a conversation. We just moved Rave around like a little bit, and then he just started popping off.
Gotcha.
Hey.
Hey,
We're
Star.
joined by Starblazer. Welcome. Thank you for hopping on. And Chris as well.
And Va.
And Va, of course. We were just talking about this this kind of mid-match swing of power, back and forth between you guys. So I do want to get the 63E's side on this. We saw a very nice early winning streak from you guys, 6-1 in the beginning, and then that kind of rotated into a direct 45E comeback streak to make it even, and then it was just round swap after that. I want to know what was your plan to kind of cool them off or to answer this kind of resurgence out of nowhere from the 45E. What was it changed to turn it from what was starting to become the 45E kind of running away with it, if you're looking at at a streak point of view? How did you stop that momentum? What was the mindset there?
I guess I could answer this one. First of all, I want to say big ups to the 45A. That was the best match I think I
GG.
ever played. GG, honestly. I'm glad that we had such an awesome match. Honestly.
It's incredible.
There was towards I couldn't tell you what round, but I think we were down by like 3 or something in the middle of the game, and I asked Star if I could make a call for the line play because I think overall 45E were beating us positionally. Just in the positions at the line, they were really aggressive in their 3-4 pocket on the right side, and that was really spreading out our flanks. I made the call, so hey, how about we do some windmill shit? Just force them to take fights they didn't want to on the left, and keep forcing them to take fights they didn't want to, and then we just rolled with that.
So you were the mastermind behind the 360 line rotations?
Actually, we were kind of planning on that. We've been practicing clockwork drills all week for when you guys would go aggressive on one area.
Yeah, you guys had a great response to it. Like, it was something...
We were ready.
I threw that out on the fly, and I didn't realize it at the time, but yeah, you guys responded to it really well. You kept the rotation. I think we ran around the first time like 2-3 times. The first 2 rounds we did that. Yeah, no, and I don't know. I think that was really interesting. I've never seen that before. Like that actually in a competitive match where like the lines start going around middle.
I don't think anyone could ever replicate that in like an actual RGL match ever again. I think we did like 3 full turns in 1 round.
Yeah,
that was true. We saw what's one more than 360?
780.
420.
No, 450. Because it was like
we were counting the degrees.
The first round was like a 270. The second time you did it was like a whole 360, and then it kept getting more and more and more to the point where it was almost like a full double 360 there, which was kind of incredible to watch. No one really died there, making those people just literally turning around and running. Was very surprising to see. So very good restraint from both teams there, I think, and kind of showed that both of you were thinking statistically, or not statistically, strategically in that game. So props to you guys.
Geometrically, even.
Yes.
The discipline that the guys. I'm really happy. I'm really proud of the guys. They had awesome discipline throughout the line to be able to run that maneuver that we'd never done before, and multiple times, make it work. I'm really proud of them, and I'm happy I'm on this team.
I have a question for Power and Starblazer. I'll start with Power first. So during the game, both teams, not sure specifically what round, but both teams had a huddle. What did Billjet say in that huddle before the final round?
Well, it was mostly just like it's been a great game, and like to take a deep breath because it's the last round, and just play patient and slow, and just be you.
Was there more, or did you
No,
like
that
let
was
go?
really it.
Okay,
No, that
okay.
was really that was
It
it.
sounded like you stopped in the middle of a sentence, so I was kind of confused. But so Star Blazer, during one round, I saw you huddle up your team. What did you say to them in that moment?
It wasn't like a crazy inspirational speech. We were, they were getting a little reamed out for for figuring out where to push, and we were trying to figure out where to make an adjustment. So we were just having a conversation there on like I guess where we were losing on the flanks and how to mitigate, like Chris was saying, like the connector push essentially.
Yeah, and we're also joined by Ekwal here, our amazing top frag. I just want to first, anything to say with that amazing stand up performance there.
I did pretty well. I really, really wanted to play well. It's my last RGL for a while at least. I'm going off to college, but I couldn't have done without my teammates, especially like Star and Ethan who were playing right next to me. They did so well to like put me in really good positions to get easy picks. Just definitely could not have done without them.
Definitely, yeah. And this is more of a question for I guess all of the 63. There was a point in the match where we could see a definite switch from kind of like how I was talking about earlier, where the power kind of swapped between 45 or 63 to the 45E. But you guys were really, really good at responding as a team early on. One person would die on the line, and the entire line would instantly shrink to meet that demand. And so I really want to know, is this something you've practiced? Is this in your mindset, in your toolbox of, listen, if someone calls out they die, we need to address that immediately? Or is that just something you did naturally?
I don't know. Like, I really don't. I feel like if someone calls out that they die, I gotta like. I honestly don't know. I guess it's both. If I see it,
Yeah.
I try to like help it out, but like, with or without a call out, if like I see like a teammate die, try to trade him out. But
I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like everyone in this chamber, the 63 will tell you it's not a magical process that we're all in a hive mind together. It's a lot of yelling and telling people where to go.
Yes.
It's not all
very
right. I
vocal.
have played 200 hours with Chris. I will magically know what he's doing. It's one of us yelling at the other one to get into fucking place.
Yeah.
A lot of yelling. My side still hurt. Anyone in 63 can tell you. Like, I was probably the loudest I think they've ever heard me before.
This motherfucker Chris was too quiet in the U group fight. We had to tell him to turn up his mic 2 million times. He shows up to the NA fight and like he's getting a noise complaint.
Yeah.
Speaking of yelling, there were a couple of rounds there in like the middle of the match that you guys lost off of some really, really rough TKs off the line. Was there like a conversation about that? Or was it just like everyone took a deep breath and was like, yeah, we need to like chill
Shake
out?
it off. There's no like,
Yeah.
it is the wrong place to start blaming TKs on people in an RGL semifinal, bro. Like if that was a friendly, I'd be roasting him, but like, nah.
Yeah, I
Kudos
totally
to
get
me.
that, but I know like tensions are super high. This match means a lot considering you guys are probably like 1 and 2 considered favorites. So, especially with the power definitely being in the 45E momentum right there.
Yeah, whenever we get into tough situations, I think a lot of the mentality is that, like, if you can't like panic and you can't, get all tense and stuff like that. So if there's a botched play, if there's a team kill, whatever, we just got to go into it like, okay, shit happens, shake it off. We got another round.
Absolutely, yeah. Any other questions from our CAS analysts here? Anything else you want to get a little view or chat? If you have any questions, we'll answer. We'll ask them for you if there's anything you're interested in. I'll wait a sec, see if anyone puts anything in chat. But okay, great question from section. I don't know what this points to or like what specific point. The question is simply, how annoyed was Star Blazer?
Yeah.
Section was holding me, but I thought I was fighting power until I actually died to him. So I was like, okay, like, bro, I'll take that. I had no idea until you actually beat me in one of them, and I was like, oh fuck. No, I had no idea it was you for like half the time. So I wasn't like getting annoyed at that.
Yeah,
He thought it was Razzle too.
Well, I have one last question for both of my regiment representatives here. The 12 of you in here that are 63 and our 145 representative. First, I want to go with our power. I want to get your prediction, your guess. You're going up against the KRA as your next RGL match for the third place. Whoever lost semifinals goes into this third place match. Who do you think is going to win? Do you feel like this is going to be, after fighting the 63 and going 15-14 with them, do you think that's going to make your KRA match an easy victory? How do you think it's going to go down?
Well, we kind of had a wake-up call from the first KRA match, and that's why you saw significant improvement against like us versus the TRB, us versus the 7 Foos, and then us versus 63. So I hope versus the KRA we'd see the same improvement, barring every member shows up once again.
Yeah, of course. And for my 63 representatives, get to fight the 51st. Definitely one of the scarier teams. I think their depth is definitely there. And Hotspot, we were talking about this last cast. They're kind of casual about that. They're kind of chill with it, you know. They're not this very serious competitive environment that we see from like the KRA and another Regs. Sorry, I just choked myself. So I want to know, for you guys against the 51st, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to be as close as this one was today, or do you think you're going to be able to sweep them up? And that goes out to any of you, whoever wants to answer from the 63.
Star, you're up.
Hey, come on, Star. You're the representative.
We're gonna fight our hardest. I don't know. They got really good players, so like I don't take anything for granted. I think
Like who?
bro, all of them.
Yeah,
You got a good 10.
maybe Hotspot,
Specifically,
maybe.
And the thing is, in Whole Fast, like anyone can have a good night, and I think name value is a lot of trash. I don't buy into like, oh, like X person on the flank is like the best player, so like you gotta shut him down, because any person in the 63 has had a 30 bomb in that starting 10. Any person in the 51st in that starting 10 has had a 30 bomb. I think anyone can go crazy, and you have to just adjust for that. You have to be aware that like every player is responsible for contributing to a win. So I don't, look at like a team and be like, oh yeah, like we're gonna fuck them up. Like no, we have to train every pocket. Every person has to be responsible. Everyone has to do their part. Everyone has to contribute to a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
I'm reading the chat. I do have a congratulations coming out from Matt Robes to you, Starblazer, on getting hired at the McDonald's drive-through.
Thank you.
According to your mic.
Absolutely.
I do have one last question if nobody else does. Star, I know we've looked at it pretty much every 51st match. Their line play is really funky. They stretch out, they try and take the basically the open melee. Are you thinking about like making a game plan for that, or are you just confident that you're gonna go in with your confidence of the team playing together as a line and just roll with it?
Yeah, I don't know if we practice open melee a lot. I think I might have to come up with something for that.
Any specifics?
You got Python?
For my notepad?
Nah. I'll think about it.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Well. Did you have something?
No.
Okay.
Just laughing.
Yeah. Fair enough. So one last thing I just want to talk about. First of all, thank you to all of our interviewees who came out to talk to us. I know it's not the easiest thing to do right after a hard-fought game, especially when it's hard-fought as that, to come in here and really be chill about it and answer these insane meta questions that no one has any right even understanding what we're talking about. But thank you. Very good answers from all of you. I'm glad you could come out. And to my fellow co-casters, my beloved Bushline Byron, Hotspot, and Gus. Gus, crazy casting today. Amazing job. Hotspot, as analytical and thuggish as ever. Thank you all for all of our viewers to come out. If you asked a question, talked in chat at all, thank you. One last thing I want to point out. I did the wrong thing there. We have a Rainbow Six tournament, Holdfast Rainbow Six tournament, starting tomorrow. This is hosted by me and some 7 Foos people. If you're in Holdfast, you play 7 Foos or play Rainbow Six, come on out to the Discord. Sign up. It's balanced, $500 prize pool. Just want to shout that out one last time. So it is starting tomorrow. But yeah, thank you all for coming out tonight. One of the best matches of Holdfast I've ever seen, definitely, and one for the history books. But yeah, thank you all, and hopefully we'll see you next week at some point for our finals.